Hi everyone. I had a video plan for this week and it didn't turn out the way that I wanted. So I'm gonna improvise something here. Today is the launching release of the new Hunger Games book, and I'm gonna start reading now. It's 9:20 p.m. I don't know how long it's gonna take for me to read. And read kind of weird because sometimes I like to listen to audiobooks when I'm like cleaning the house and stuff. But just to post something this week, I'm going to share my first impressions, and that's it. I just finished the first four chapters, and I don't know, I have a lot of thoughts already. I think it's interesting that I think if you never read the main series or the previous prequel, you can follow along pretty easily. There's a whole explanation on the beginning about how the games work, what was the rebellion, the reading of the treaty, everything. And it's pretty much self-explanatory. That it has like an introduction to District 12, that it's good for us as readers that like we haven't read a book in 5 years since the last release. It's good to freshen up, and also I think it's good if you never read the series and now you want to read the series. Like, I don't think you will lose much. There's a lot of explanation. Doesn't get into much detail of the things that happen on the previous book, Snow's book, but explains a little bit on what the Covey is, how they are currently playing or not playing in this moment of the story. Already, I'm liking it a lot. I feel that there's a difference in tone from the previous prequel, the song. I can't remember the name of the book. Something about songbirds and snakes. I feel that previous book was a little bit more mature, the style of narrative, I guess. Not necessarily adult, but I think was more of a mature book. I didn't feel as teenage vibes as I feel with Hunger Games, but this one, Sunrise on the Reaping, on the first chapters, I am feeling more this teenage vibe, which is not a bad thing, just a difference in tone. I'm liking it a lot. I think Haymitch really, I felt that on the main series, Haymitch and Katniss, they have a lot in common, and I keep liking it. I keep seeing it, like they have like a similar personality. The characters so far, they seem interesting. The dynamic of having like 4 tributes instead of 2 sounds interesting too. Still, I'm really not excited to see his games from inside again. I think I would say is I kind of think it's a little bit unnecessary, since we already saw this 3 times already, like 2 times through Katniss' perspective, and we kind of saw a little bit through, not through Lucy Gray's eyes, but like we saw her experience too, very much detailed as Snow could care to give us. And I don't think like having a 4th experience would change anything. I just think would be maybe unnecessarily graphic and I don't know. I'm still maturing my thoughts about it, but I am excited to keep reading it, and I want to listen to it tomorrow. But I'm tired now. It's very late here, and yeah, I'm liking it. I like the characters. I think the scene of the reaping, I thought I was a little bit too soap opera like. I mean, like, I think I would need more time to explain what I feel, but I'm trying to summarize here. Liking. I thought just that the reaping scene was a little too much, I guess. And so yeah, I'll come back later with more. I just finished 4 more chapters, so I just finished chapter 8. I'm still liking it a lot. I wish I could read it faster. Today I went to the gym and I listened a little bit of the audiobook. It's really good. The narration is really good. Also, the one from A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, I'm referring to this one a lot because it's not the latest Hunger Games that I read, but I mean, it's the latest one before this one. Anyway, the narration was like one of the best ones that I've ever listened to on Audible. And this one is pretty good too. I mean, you can get into the story. I don't have any interesting thoughts so far. I mean, I don't know how to feel about the characters because like we're in a part of story where a lot of characters that we see in the main trilogy, they should appear because they are already born. So I don't know, like I feel that some characters like Plutarch make sense to be in the story, but I feel that other characters sometimes they come across, not the characters themselves, but like the way they are in the story, they kind of come across as fan service. I still don't have like a definitive opinion about it because like at the same time it makes sense for past victors to be around because they have to be mentors and the mentors know each other and blah blah blah. So I don't know if I think it's fan service or not. I do feel that some characters like makes actually a lot of sense for them to already be in the story. I'm sad because, you know, like it's tragedy after tragedy. Well, I said yesterday, yeah, today is another day, by the way. I said yesterday that I'm not excited to see Haymitch's games because we already seen it in Catching Fire, but I think we're gonna see a big amount of his games. It's gonna change a little bit of the perspective because like we see Katniss watching the games. She doesn't know much about Haymitch at that point. So now we're gonna see through his eyes and we see that has some friends, not friends, but you know, colleagues, given the circumstances. He's trying to form an alliance and I don't know if I would form an alliance if I was in the games because then after the purpose of the alliance ends, you have to do something about those people because there's only one winner. So I don't know if I would have allies, and I don't know. I'm trying to remember his games in detail. I started reading Catching Fire last year in November. I didn't finish. I stopped. Well, actually, a little after, short after Katniss and Peeta watch Haymitch's games. So I was kind of on that part when I stopped, and I'm probably picking up the book again after Sunrise on the Reaping. And I'm trying to remember the details of his games. I remember how he won and stuff, but I don't remember the book mentioning allies. Well, this is it for now. I am definitely not finishing the book today. maybe tomorrow, hopefully tomorrow, because I want to finish it soon. And today I saw like a couple people commenting on Twitter. No spoilers, but I don't want to get spoilers. I really don't mind spoilers usually, but now with this one I mind. So I'm kind of upset that I'm not gonna finish today, also because those books always keep me hooked, but sadly I'm not gonna finish today, but hopefully tomorrow. Okay, I finished another 4 chapters, and it was very interesting to see President Snow in the middle. I think this book is like, well, not necessarily in the middle of the main series and about also in Birds and Snakes, but it's kind of in the middle, and it's interesting to see. It was very interesting to see how the games were and how they end, and now we're like in the middle of it, and see President Snow with Haymitch and their conversation was also interesting, and we see a side of Snow. I'm trying not to give spoilers, because I think I'm almost halfway in the book, so I don't want to give spoilers, but I mean, so we see like a side of Snow that Finnick tells us in the Mockingbird. But I'm liking it so far. I feel it's a little unsettling what happens to Luella, and how she kind of comes back to the games, and like that scene after Haymitch talked to Snow was a little almost unnerving. It's very uncomfortable. It's interesting the progression of Snow's character, even in just one scene. I like Haymitch so far. He has an interesting personality, you know. He wants to be rebellious, but he holds back, and sometimes like he acts impulsively and he is rebellious with his actions, and then like he immediately regrets. He's very protective of the other kids that are siding with him, which is interesting because we see later in the main series his relationship with Katniss, and it kind of makes sense, and it makes me question how must have been hard for Haymitch over 24 years to be watching, like basically sending kids to their death every year. And I'm really curious to see how he's gonna become who he is in the main series, because like right now he made clear in very moments, like a lot of moments in this book, that he doesn't drink, he doesn't like to drink. And I mean, not only that, but I said like he's very caring with the people he cares about. And he changes a little bit. You see that he's not that warm in the main series. He sounds more warm in this book, and I want to see. It's not the right phrase, because like I know it's gonna involve a lot of suffering for his character, but it would be interesting to see how he becomes more bitter. He already made a allusion to drinking, and to drinking being something to numb the pain, and sadly like he becomes an alcoholic because of the games. So I'm just intrigued to see how this is coming along. I'm really sad about the kids because I'm liking them, the other tributes. They have interesting personalities, and it's interesting like fun to see them interacting like with each other, and it's gonna be very sad when they're not in the games. And I think overall is this. So far, I was supposed to say this on the previous chapter break. I don't know how I feel with the undertone that this book has of District 12 being special. I mean, I'm trying to make a short video here, so I don't know if I can expand much, but like, we have Katniss, and then we have Lucy, and then reading the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, we see why Katniss, especially Katniss, but Katniss and Peeta trigger Snow in the main trilogy, and her defiance, and why it turns into something personal to him. And then it makes sense, but then we have Haymitch, and then some characters say imply that the District 12 of all of the districts they are more they are treated with more roughly than the other districts. You know, they are left out. People see them as animals. They are treated more harshly than the other districts. And I don't know if I like this idea, because like, when we read the main trilogy, we see that Katniss had an awful life already, and people in 12, they are very poor. But with the few interactions that she has with Rue, we also get a glimpse that life is not easy in 11 too, or like in other districts. And the fact that Katniss becomes Katniss, and she triggers something on Snow, like almost on a personal level, that, I mean, if you only read the main trilogy, you don't know anything of his backstory, like, so it seems personal, but you're not sure that it's personal. Then it's confirmed that it's personal, and then you have Haymitch, and then I like the conversation that Snow has with Haymitch in this book, but it's also very like, oh, I don't like your district because a girl from 12 broke my heart, and now I'm gonna be mean to you guys. And I think it takes a little bit of the social critic that is way bigger than just, oh, Lucy Gray was from 12 and she broke my heart, and now I hate District 12. Like, it looks way more personal, and I think it takes a little bit of the value of having a tyrannic president that doesn't care about the rest of the country, to being like, yeah, this guy is kind of tyrannic, he's mean to people, he kills people, he tortures people, but he has a personal beef with 12. So I don't know if my critic makes much sense. I don't know if I'm going to change my mind until the end of the book, but so far I think this is the only thing that I'm not liking, that there's a lot of implications that, you know, like, things are specifically harder for 12. And there's a character that was saying, like, I think it was Beatty, that was like, yeah, because tough people comes from 12 because no one cares about you, and you know how to, you know, like, you take care of your own. So like, kind of implying that they are stronger because they have to rely on each other. I don't know if I like that, but these are my thoughts for now. Good morning. This is the third day of me reading the book. I just finished chapter 16, and I don't have anything to say, just feelings. Haymitch is probably one of the characters that suffered the most, and it's a tie competition in this series, but like, his life is tragedy after tragedy, and I feel so sorry for him. It's torture what they did with him and Luella twice. Well, I just finished the book. Today is the 21st, so it took 3-4 days to finish. I don't have words, I only have feelings. The end of the book, I mean, made me sad. I'm sad. That's how I feel. I feel sad, and I feel like listening to the soundtrack of The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes again, because some songs appear in the book. But overall, I liked it. I liked the characters. I mean, I think it's interesting, the fact that we thought we saw Haymitch's games, and then turns out they were like 80% edited. I do think, I don't know what to think actually, about if this book was really needed, because I think the message could be, because there's a message, of course, in the end of the book, but I think this message could be through any other character, not necessarily Haymitch. And I think, I don't know, I think setting the story again on District 12, I mean, it kind of becomes its own cycle theme that started with Lucy Gray and then with Katniss, but at the same time, like, I think it gives too much focus to District 12 and kind of makes the characters look more, not look more important, but like special, you know, like, oh yeah, only District 12 people are rebellious, only District 12 people, you know, can defy Capitol, and like the person that would destroy the Capitol would be born in District 12, like something on those lines. And also, I think like if you want to expand the universe, you could see other districts' realities too, because even though like it's pretty much said that everyone is in some type of misery, you know, no food, no electricity, like we know that the 12 is worse. It would be interesting to see another character. I mean, Haymitch has a very particular tragic story, but I'm pretty sure that the other victors they have as much of a sad story as Haymitch. So I think it could work with another character. So I have mixed feelings about that. I mean, emotionally, I felt sad. I felt like all the emotions that I should have felt, you know, especially in the end, where you see like Katniss' parents and that they were, especially her dad, that he was friends with Haymitch and stuff, and like how they stopped being friends, but they cared about each other. And then like you see that later, I mean, Haymitch kind of takes care of Katniss, and if you read the trilogy, the main trilogy, you see that they have kind of a daughter-father relationship, very, I won't say twisted, but I mean, it's very rocky, but it's kind of, you know, really mentor relationship. So it's interesting on that part, and it's interesting to see that clearly Snow didn't get over Lucy Gray, but I would set the story in a different district with a different character, to bring a new perspective, because I don't know. I mean, emotionally, it's a good book, but I think at some point it reads very fan service. So yeah, no, but overall I think like out of 5 stars, I would give 3.5, which would be the lowest for the series for me, because basically all the books, they are 4 stars for me, 4.5, or in case of Catching Fire, they are a 5, and also Mockingjay is a 5. But this one, I think I'll give a 3.5, but I liked it. I pre-ordered a book last year? I think so. I think it was like back in December. I pre-ordered a book, but since I read it so fast, the physical book didn't arrive, so I was just switching up between Kindle and Audible. But once the physical book arrives, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna reread it, or at least read some parts again. And I don't know, I might do a full video talking about it if someone is interested to listen to my opinions after I think about them, because I don't know how to feel about the overall book, because yeah, it's a mix of fan service and a very emotional book. So if anyone is interested, I can bring my perspective again. But that's it. I really liked it. I wish I could have read it faster, because I was kind of busy, and I think the Hunger Games books, they are very entertaining the way they are written. I don't feel like dropping it, and I just want to finish as quick as possible, because like I need more of the story. And I also got this feeling in this book, and it was, well, I won't say that was fun, because Haymitch has a very tragic life, but it was an interesting journey of 3-4 days. Thanks for watching and listening to my rambles for, I don't know how long this video is going to be, but probably 20 minutes. And on Tuesday, I plan on posting a normal video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.